Welcome to Curious Wings Learning Platform, an envision to empower through education. So today, I will be acquainting you into a course about a pretty basic requirement in life. It's more or less nothing but self-motivation. Yes, you might be surprised about this topic at first, but this is apparently what everyone seeks to have in life. So, by the end of this course, I'll be covering the following objectives where you will be able to practically apply the points provided. So, moving on to point number 1, you will be able to explain how needs and motives influence motivation. Point number 2, identify several needs and motives that could be propelling you into action. Point number 3, pinpoint how the hierarchy of needs could explain your behavior. Point number 4, explain why and how goals contribute to self-motivation. Point number 5, describe how self-motivation helps in setting effective goals and the problems sometimes created by goals. Point number 6, describe several specific techniques of self-motivation. So before entering into this course, I'll start with a quite basic real-life example where you might have faced this at some point in your life. Let's say you and your friend have an exam tomorrow and you both low-key have no idea what to do. So you start planning with your friend and decide to put a lot of effort the night before the exam, and somehow you both manage to write the exam the next day, keeping in mind you might be able to pass. So in this situation, you and your friend have used the same amount of time and effort to prepare for the exam, right? So but the results came out the following day and you were surprised. Well, not the good kind of surprise you have expected. So your friend actually scored a lot higher than you. And you start questioning your capabilities and start feeling bad the next day and mess up the remaining exams. So my question is, what should you exactly do to overcome this situation? My answer is, by the end of this course, I'm pretty sure you will be able to answer this, and furthermore, I'll explain how to overcome this at the end. Let's move on to the introduction. I'll begin with the quote. There is no motivation that exists beyond the strength which comes from the Almighty. It's just a quote which might at first sound melodramatic, but when time comes, you'll realize how powerful this is. So from this video, let's briefly enter into what we have in store to go through. Self-motivation. Self-motivation is a process that indirectly involves other people for it to be successful. If you think you are doing well at your own pace, it would help you. But if you find time to share the experience as well as ideas to others, you will eventually influence them. If the people, especially those that matter to you, see that you are doing good and self-motivation is creating a big impact in your life, they would even might want to try the same thing that you are doing. Excellent, right? But it is often difficult because it comes from you. If you don't take care of the underlying issues that keep you from making progress, you can fall back on blaming others for your life. It's pathetic. In some cases, you can rely on external factors and friends for motivation. But at the end of the day, you're the one who has to put in the work. By digging deep and learning more about yourself, what holds you back and what drives you forward, you can clear the path to progress. By learning early on how to self-motivate and stay on track, you'll ultimately experience greater successes sooner. So number 1 is reassess yourself. Many people think that they know themselves already, and that is why they decline to do self-assessment regularly. Experts say that these people don't realize that the more they decline doing self-reassessment, the more that they get stuck to their own routine, which leaves them lesser room for improvement. If you want to start with constant self-motivation, it is best that you know yourself very well. If you know yourself well, you will know your weaknesses as well as your strength. Once you are able to identify all of these, it will be easier for you to set goals for yourself that are within your reach and your capabilities. Knowing oneself will also enable you to take note of your weaknesses and find ways on how to overcome, manage, and deal with them. The same works for your strength because you might even find a way on how to improve them. If you are just starting with self-motivation, it will be best if you start small and simple so you won't feel defeated when you aren't able to meet the standards you have set for yourself. Keep track of your progress. This is a must. Monitoring how well or bad you are doing will help you maneuver things that find ways that would best work for you. For a person who is just starting with his or her self-motivation process, it is best to keep track of how you are doing so you will know where the areas that you should be improving and what are the things you should be continue to do. So from this model, it is clear that motivation is a prerequisite and how can we have the approach and also how it involves in shaping your mind. In the next module, we will discuss motivation exactly means and what its type are in brief.